What's up, my friends? It's C-Threep. We've got a very, very important message to share with you today as it pertains to studio monitors or the headphones that you are using to mix your music. It is crucial that you learn what they actually sound like. And the only way to really do that is by two things. One, referencing what you're listening to, like if you've got a song and you're recording it and you're trying to mix it, you have to listen to what another song sounds like in those headphones or on those speakers. You have to listen to other music on those sources a lot to get used to what professional mixes sound like, so you have some frame of reference. Number two, you have to listen to your mix on another source. A car stereo, there's something about being in a car driving 35 miles an hour and listening to your song that is very revealing to how your mix is actually starting to sound. And then you open up Spotify, go to your favorite band, listen to one of their songs, you're like, okay, wow, I didn't realize that I was screwing it up so bad. So I got these new Yamaha HS7 studio monitors a little over a year ago. And I decided, hey, now that I've kind of got my new studio all set up, I've got my studio monitors, like, okay, let's record an album and let's use this as an opportunity to really get to learn my studio monitors. Having recently gone through this experience and learned some really valuable lessons, I can't emphasize this enough. So for example, I'm going to show you an actual older version of one of my first mixes of one of my songs and now the newer version of it. A couple of months ago, I was taking my wife to the doctor and I had my mix. What I thought was like, hey, I think the mix is pretty solid right now. According to what I was hearing in my speakers here. So we're driving down the road in our car, and we're in a car, it's a RAV4. This thing hypes up the high frequencies and the bass frequencies quite a bit. But when you're listening to a song that's been mixed properly, you don't really notice it. You just it sounds fine. It's honestly not the best speaker system in any car. It's just kind of what came with the car, but it's fine. However, again, it hypes up the frequencies quite a bit. So I put on my song to show it to my wife, and my ears begin to bleed from the cymbals. I didn't notice it really when I was in my studio before having that other frame of reference, and I even cross-referenced it to another song, and I just wasn't picking up on that. I wasn't picking up on the fact that I had way too many high frequencies in my cymbals and in my song in general. So I put it in my car. She doesn't really notice it because she's not really listening for that. But like the first thing I notice is, oh my gosh, I've butchered this mix. So then having that frame of reference, I come back home and I listen to the song now again on the speakers that I mixed it with, listening specifically for the high frequencies, thinking, okay, they were way too high in the car. How does that translate to now what I'm hearing on my sound system here? And sure enough, it's like, yeah, I can kind of hear that. I can hear why that's so harsh. And it starts giving you the whole point of this, and again, this does apply to headphones as well if you're mixing on headphones. The whole point of this is that it gave me some kind of frame of reference outside of my controlled room where I could start to learn these speakers, because you will not have any idea how things are sounding until you start to listen to your music on other sources that the average person is going to hear your song on. So if you've got a song, you make it, you put it on Spotify, they're listening to it in their car, they're listening into their AirPods or whatever. You gotta make sure it's gonna sound good on those, and the only way you can do that is to not just get it sounding good in your studio. Because you can come in my studio and listen to the songs that I was making back in September when I was kind of learning these speakers. Yeah, it's like almost a year ago that I had some of these initial mixes. And you might think, oh yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, it sounds fine in here. You get out in the real world and you're screwing something up big time. Just with a new setup with new speakers that I've never used, it's still like you still have to learn them. So you can listen to any advice about mixing, and I've made lots of tutorials about it. But if you don't heed my advice in this video, none of those videos are going to really matter. You have to know what you're dealing with the sources that you are using to listen to your music. That is the tip of the day. Let's talk about it down below. Leave some comments on your experience with learning to mix music and learning to adjust to your speakers, your headphones, whatever you have. I'll see you guys on another video, and that's it.